All right, okay, so we're looking at Matthew chapters 27, verse 46, when Jesus quotes when he's on the cross, says, my God, why have you forsaken me? So this is actually a quote from Psalm number 22. Now, what's really cool about this is Jesus, being a Jewish rabbi, he would actually know a common practice. They would recite to their students the first line of a psalm, and the students were expected to have the rest of the psalm actually memorized. So if there are any followers of Jesus or any Jewish students who are at the scene of the crucifixion and they heard Jesus say, my God, why have you forsaken me, the first thing that they should think of was actually the 22nd psalm. Now in Psalm 22 in verse 6, there's a verse in there that always kind of confused me. And it says, but I am a worm and not a man, scorned by mankind and despised by the people. All who see me mock me. And in that verse, I always wondered, about the word worm. It seems like a kind of a weird descriptive word about Jesus and the crucifixion. But it's not until you look at the actual history behind the word and what the Hebrew word for worm there is, because it's a specific kind of worm, not like, the kind of worm we think we see out on a rainy day, but it's a scarlet worm. And its actually color is scarlet red. That's where you get the word scarlet from. Now the cool thing about this worm is its properties and how it lives its life is when it's about to die, it willingly goes and attaches itself to a tree or a piece of wood. Now it goes there willingly and it knows when it's going to die, and it knows and it's expecting to die on there. So once it's attached itself to this tree, what it does is it actually gives birth to the babies. Now the babies take shelter under the worm's body, and once the worm dies, it actually releases this blood-like red fluid, which is actually the life-giving fluid for the babies, and it is basically what gives them their life, and it's like a blood red kind of liquid. Now after the worm dies, after 3 days, it loses that blood red color and actually turns pure white. So this is completely symbolic of Jesus dying on the cross, is he shed his blood for his children to give us life, and after he shed blood, he raised again on the third day and was pure white. So this scarlet worm there, the reason that Jesus used this word for worm is because in that worm, we actually see a complete foreshadowing in this worm's life of what Jesus would eventually do on the cross. And again, for anybody at the crucifixion scene who is familiar with the Old Testament, they would instantly think of this, and it was just another key pointing in Jesus saying that he is the Messiah, and he is the one, and he is dying, but he will be raised again in 3 days. So I think that's really cool. I hope you guys enjoy that.